All right, level uppers. Let's cut the crap and talk about power. For ages, who popped into your head when you heard leader? Be honest, some dude, right? Square jaw, power suit, probably yelling into a phone or pointing decisively at something. The great man, the alpha, the boss who makes you subtly check if your resume is updated after every meeting. We've been force-fed this idea that leadership is all about command, control, a stiff upper lip, the traits slapped with the masculine label. But what if I told you that entire playbook is about as relevant today as a fax machine? Over the next 3 episodes, we're going to dismantle that outdated model and show you where the real power lies in the 21st century. Today, in part 1, we're putting the old guard on trial. We're diving deep into why that command and control style isn't just creaky, it's often downright destructive. Buckle up, because we're starting with the takedown. Okay, first things first. Masculine versus feminine traits. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Yes, these labels are loaded. Yes, they reek of stereotypes often cooked up by culture, not chromosomes. The idea that your biology dictates your management style is, frankly, bullshit. But society uses these labels and they reflect perceived differences. So on one hand, you have the traditionally masculine or agentic style. Think command and control. Task-focused, directive, assertive, competitive, maybe thinks vulnerability is a type of pasta. This was the default setting for decades, that think manager, think male virus installed in our collective brains. Then on the flip side, you've got the feminine or communal approach. This leans more towards collaborate and connect. Cooperative, participatory, relationship-focused, empathetic, emotionally intelligent, often transformational, better at, dealing with actual humans. You can see the contrast clearly. The old school relies on directive communication and transactional motivation, reward or punish. The focus is tasks, decisions are top-down. The new school favors participatory communication and transformational motivation, inspire and empower. The focus shifts to people. Decisions involve consensus. Empathy and collaboration are key. Got it? Good. Now, why is that old school, often hyper-masculine approach looking less like a power move and more like a dinosaur desperately trying to operate a smartphone? Let's get real. That traditional masculine model isn't just outdated, it's actively sabotaging success in today's world. First off, the command and control hangover is brutal. That my way or the highway shtick? Yeah, research suggests men towards this directive style more often, while women tend towards a more democratic approach. It feels decisive, efficient even. Bark an order, get compliance. Bam! But here's the poison pill. It crushes innovation like a bug. It treats employees like interchangeable cogs, leading to resentment, disengagement, and talented people polishing their LinkedIn profiles on company time. Is that short-term, often grudging obedience worth the slow, agonizing death of creativity and morale? Spoiler, no. This whole idea comes from relics like the great man theory, basically 19th century fan fiction suggesting history is shaped by inherently awesome dudes. It conveniently ignored context, collaboration, and, women. Early leadership studies then doubled down, mostly studying men in male-dominated fields, effectively defining leader as man. Talk about a rigged game from the start. And then there's the issue of the toxicity tax, which is expensive. Sometimes strong and assertive doesn't just look outdated, it curdles into full-blown toxicity. We're talking arrogance, ego-driven blunders, micromanagement hell, abusive supervision. This isn't strength, folks. It's often profound insecurity wrapped in a power suit. Ever heard of masculinity contest cultures? These are workplaces where it's all about showing dominance, never admitting weakness, putting work above literally everything, and generally acting like a jerk is what gets you ahead. These places are breeding grounds for burnout, ethical lapses, and HR nightmares. Here's the terrifying part. The very traits often lionized in traditional masculine leadership, hyper-competitiveness, emotional stoicism, aggression, are dangerously close neighbors to genuinely toxic behaviors. The line is thin, easily crossed, and often rewarded in cultures that mistake bullying for strength. The old model doesn't just risk toxicity, it practically invites it. We even see this play out dramatically in how leadership handles major crises. Think about the aftermath of devastating events like Hurricane Katrina, often cited as examples where traditional command structures struggled immensely under pressure, leading to confusion and slow responses. Now, contrast that with leadership approaches seen during the initial phases of the global pandemic, where styles emphasizing empathy, clear, consistent communication, and collective action were frequently highlighted and praised for their perceived effectiveness in uniting people. Different crises, absolutely, but the contrast in leadership style and apparent results? Night and day. All right, level uppers. That's the verdict on the old way. It's brittle, it breeds toxicity, it stifles innovation, and it often fails spectacularly when the pressure is on. Relying solely on command and control in 2025 is like trying to win a drone race with a horse and buggy. It's just not built for the modern world. So if the traditional masculine playbook is busted, what actually works? What are the skills that truly drive success, build resilient teams, and make people want to follow you? Next time, in Part 2, we're diving into the so-called feminine traits, empathy, collaboration, emotional intelligence, and revealing why they aren't soft skills, they're your strategic firepower. You don't want to miss it. Hit that subscribe button so you get notified. What's the biggest flaw you've seen in old-school command and control leadership? Drop your experience in the comments below. And if you found this takedown satisfying, hit that like button. See you in Part 2.